Okay, this is Big G or Gene or Gino or Dad or however you know me, and I am back with lesson 23. We're going to talk about creating a watch list. Um, we've talked about different ways to scan and look for stocks and look for trades, but there are thousands and thousands of stocks out there. How in the world do you narrow it down and look for specific trades and look for good trades and keep your sanity at the same time? So this is going to be on how to create a watch list. And the first thing I guess you need to know, there are lots of different ways to do it. And there are many, many ways to find prospective trades. And we'll look at that here briefly in this lesson. One way, and you've already been introduced to some of this, but you can scan for prospective stocks for each day, either the night before or before the market opens in the morning. And we've looked at FinViz many times here in our lessons, and as you hopefully have gotten to know FinViz, you've got the screener up here, and you can screen for all kinds of things here, and FinViz has these really annoying ads that pop up. Hopefully you've learned how to have presets. I've got all these different presets I've done over the years. I got to be honest with you, I don't look at these much anymore, but just for example, if I wanted to look for hammers under the 20-day moving average, I've got that set up here, and you see there's 9 stocks that pop up with hammers, and there's that some lady talking to you. So like we looked at this in the past, but just look over the charts, take a look at them. If you see anything you like, you write it down, make a note of it. Stocks with long upper wicks, I've got that in here. And if you played around with FinViz, these things don't pop up all the time. There's Halliburton with a long upper wick, Cree, all these different ones. So you can scan for prospective stocks every night for the next day or the morning before, and there's lots of different ways to do that. But maybe you don't want to do that every day. You've got other things to do. You got to work, you got a family, and you don't have time every night to sit down and scan through hundreds or thousands of stocks. Now, some professional traders do that, but you don't have time to do that, and I don't either. So you can take some time on the weekends, and you can scan for stocks on the weekends and just see some good setups and good potential, and that you can make a note of those and watch those throughout the week as you can. And then you can also scan for specific chart patterns or candlestick patterns, kind of like I just showed you with FinViz. You can look for cup and handle patterns. You can look for bullish engulfing candlestick patterns, hammers, pivot points, and just scan charts for specific things. You can also use, I showed you FinViz, there's also stockmarketwatch.com. You can go to, for example, top stocks, and it'll show you the most active stocks that move on that day. New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, AMX, the top gainers for the day. So you might want to look for those that are hot, the ones that are moving, the ones that had a lot of action during that day or during the week. You can also, in the mornings, go to the pre-market tab here. And now this is at nighttime, so you can't, what you're seeing here will be a little different, but basically it'll show you the top gaining and the top losing stocks prior to the market opening. And that's always a good indicator, especially if you're a gap trader. It'll show you stocks that are going to be gapping up or gapping down that day. So tons of different ways to look for hot stocks and what's moving and all that. So you can scan for specific chart patterns. You can subscribe to a service or a website. You can follow traders on social media for ideas. There's some traders I follow on Twitter, and every night they're throwing out patterns. And what's interesting about the guys that I'm thinking of that I follow, they're watching the same kind of pattern night after night, day after day. They trade breakout patterns or pivot points or things like that. They're just watching and trading same pattern day after day, day after day. You can also maintain your own list of quality stocks and just trade them exclusively. And this is what I do. Um, I just have a list of about 41, I think it's 41 stocks. And I'll show you here on stockcharts.com. I've got a list here. I've created my own list with the default charts. And I think I counted 41. And some of these I don't even trade. I just watch them as kind of a barometer for the market. For example, TLT is bonds, the VIX. It's what they call the fear index. It talks about the volatility of the market. So most of these I have traded. Some of these I don't know if I've ever traded. Gold, I don't trade gold. I trade GDX, but not gold. So there's about 41 here, and I just watch this list. That's all I do. I don't look at any other stocks but these on this list. And what I do is I just scan through them. It goes in alphabetical order. You say this is Apple, Amazon's next, Boeing's next, Baba's next, Baidu is next, Cat, and so on. So you just hit the arrow here. I can scroll through 40 stocks in just a matter of minutes and look for patterns and see what they're doing, and then prepare to trade just those specific stocks. A friend of mine, actually my brother, he taught me a lot about trading years ago, and he spent a lot of time day trading, and he would just trade 4 bank stocks. That's all he did. He just watched 4 bank stocks. So you don't have to watch, the hundreds and thousands of stocks that are in the market. You can just choose a certain sector. You can choose, specific stocks. Just trade Apple and Starbucks and Walmart and Amazon. You can do that. So just come up with your own list of quality stocks and trade them exclusively. Now you might be wondering why I have these 41. It's because they are friendly for options traders. They're high volume stocks, and you want high volume for option trades, and so that's why I follow these 40, because they're good for options traders. One other thing to mention is if you go back to FinViz and if you look at the groups, you can see what sectors are performing well. You always want to be you'd like to be in a stock that's in a good sector. So you can see here on FinViz, they tell you what went well today, what performed well today, this week, month, 3 months, and so forth. So that's always a good indicator. And then, so let's say, for example, today the financials did good. So you can go to the screener on FinViz, and you pull the financial sector up. And then let's say you want them over 300. Oops, hit the wrong thing here. Current volume over 300,000. And that gets you all the financials. And then if you want to see what changed the most, you hit change here. That's from the worst to first. And this is, hit change one more time. It goes to the ones that moved the most today. So that just gives you more ideas of just ways to look for hot stocks that are moving, and all that good stuff. So this is a quick one, I think. This is a quick video, but just some ideas on how to choose a watch list, how to create a watch list, and hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.